Hi, my name is Jacob Green, and this is my ABE paper video. I chose to do my paper on investment into water utility by the private sector because this applies to finance a lot, and it interested me because it's an area where it's actually a good opportunity for investment to make good profit and where it could benefit the world and also you. And also, it relates to what we've been learning in this class and important stuff from that about how we have to maintain these facilities to be able to sustain our life. So that's what made it really interesting to me and what made me want to write the paper on it. So what I looked into was the private sector because that is where the money needs to come from, really, because the government is sort of running out of money to spend on it. Here you see in this chart the total public spending has continued to increase over the years on water facilities in the billions, and it's increasing steadily. So this shows how our demand is increasing and also how much more we care about the conditions and the state they're in, and we want to spend more on it. But the main thing from this graph that you need to look at is how spending on capital has been sort of stagnating while operations and maintenance takes the bigger portion of the money. And this is concerning because capital is what you need for further growth. And since we will have an increasing demand, we need to look at the future, and we're not doing that. So here also illustrates sort of, you can see at the end the dip recently in the amount of spending. So that means it's sort of like even now governments are starting to say, you know, they're cutting spending, and that has to do with the recession a lot. So this is where the private sector comes in, and they need to step in and support the government for investment, as it is an opportunity, but also because it needs to better the world. And this graph also shows how federal government spending has been declining on it while state and local continues to rise. And this is actually a good thing because the main point I had from this is that state and local governments need to be the ones that take responsibility themselves, because the federal government can't provide plans and spending because they don't know what all these different areas need. And because the US is such a big country and it differs so greatly, a lot of areas need very different stuff. So that's why it needs to come down to the state and local governments to do that, and it's good that they're taking more responsibility. So the last graph I included was in my conclusion of the essay, and I wanted to I wanted to wrap it up by validating my points. I've sort of been showing how the spending's increasing and all that, but I haven't showed the state of these water facilities, and this graph really shows the amount of work that's needed. Like the whole paper, I've talked about how much spending there is, and we're still so far behind in so many of these cities on meeting the threshold. So this is definitely the main point of the essay of how big the improvement is. All right, thank you.